Hey, what's good, guys? So I'm going to go over this regressed plank movement. And obviously, I'm sure you've done a regular plank where your body is long, your knees are straight. But because we know the power of just tapping into our deeper core muscles and really taking a step back in certain movements to really feel for the right things and refine that movement, because we know the power of that, we're going to do this plank on our knees. And trust me when I say it's going to become a lot more difficult than you're used to once you focus on the right things. So what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that our knees aren't too close so that we're kind of crunching our back like this. Honestly, the further you put them, the harder the exercise is going to be. But to start, I'd say just a little bit past 90. And then what you're going to want to do is with your arms, you're going to want to make sure that they're completely parallel to each other. So not coming in like this throughout the whole exercise. You want to make sure that they're perfectly parallel and in line with your shoulders as well. So the first thing that I'm going to think about when I'm in this position is tilting my pelvis forward like this. Okay, so you see that creates this little dip in my lumbar spine, right? So at the same time, what a lot of people will do here is dip like this, right? We don't want that because look, my rib cage is protruding. So what we want to do is at the same time that we are bringing this pelvis here, turning the sacrum into the curve of the low spine, we at the same time want to push our rib cage back. Look at how that creates that round in my upper back, right? And then we want to pull the arms towards us. So pulling them this way, I had to get out of that position because I was already starting to burn. But pull our arms towards us. And that's going to give you the effect of extending your T-spine. But again, we don't want to protrude the ribs. We want to make sure everything is nice and stacked up. That rib cage is actually back. So this is forward, pushing the rib cage back. At the same time, not letting go of this, keeping it nice and active. And this should be on fire as you're doing this exercise. Arms should be on fire. You should feel your pecs engage as well if you get the right positioning with your shoulders. And then once you pull towards you, you should also feel your lats firing all the way down to your waist almost. So, all right, from there, what we're gonna do, we find a good position, get a nice long spine. I open up the upper back. Then what we're gonna do is lift one leg at a time. Boop. And we're just gonna hold that. Making sure we keep everything in position. Keep on pulling towards us with the arms. Keeping the rib cage back. And that's tough for me to talk, man, while I do that, but that's the idea. While we're holding that position, what I want you to do is breathe. So take deep inhales, deep exhales while you maintain that core engagement and that positioning. It's gonna be pretty difficult, trust me, but you're gonna wanna just really lock in and breathe that tension away. So once you find the position, you can essentially use your breath as a way to really lock in, how do I say, just basically make the position more fluid and effortless, because obviously at first it's going to be a grind to try and hold that position, those new muscular patterns while you're breathing, but the breathing will allow you to hold those positions and soften your body while at the same time maintaining that total body connection and tension. So again, throughout this exercise, you want to feel everything activated, even down to your hands on the ground. You want to be making fists and kind of like pushing everything into the ground, your elbows, hands, pulling back, getting that spine nice and long, making sure the head and chin are back, really just making sure, again, full body tension. That's the name of the game here. The more tension and pressure that you can create in this exercise, the better you will be able to move, the more stable you will be, the stronger you will be, not only in terms of weights, but also in terms of like holding your own against opponents on the field, on the court. You will also see that you will be able to lift more weights, because when you create that internal pressure, then you take that understanding of creating pressure, of creating tension through your core, through your hips, to other exercises. Then you're gonna be a beast. Everything is gonna be, you're just gonna lift stuff like way more effortlessly. So instead of finding the tension through the external load, you create that tension first internally, and then you apply that to the load. So I'm gonna stop there. I could talk about this all day. I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Please feel free to reach out. Please feel free to send me videos of what you're doing, because I couldn't go over every single cue in this video, but I hope that that's a good entry into doing this exercise and the many variations that can come from it. So with that, I'll catch you guys later.